Security groups are a critical part of your security infrastructure on AWS. Hello, my name is Alex. I am a senior software engineer specializing in AWS development. In this video, we will talk about security groups. We'll talk what they are, what they control, what are the sources, the key facts about security groups, and we're going to have a demo. Security groups are basically attachable virtual firewalls. Security groups can be attached to a resource, can be attached to EC2 instance, load balancer, database, and other resources. Like firewalls, security groups have rules, and they actually have only one rule, allow rule. Security groups don't have a deny rule. And security rules control inbound and outbound traffic. Let's talk about security group control. Security group control protocols that are incoming into security group, and there are two main protocols, TCP and UDP. Think about TCP protocol when you are sending emails. Let's say Gmail needs to send an email to Yahoo. So Google server will send packets over the internet to Yahoo server. And Yahoo server, when they receive those packets, will acknowledge the receipt of those packets. And this is the main feature of the TCP protocol because you have an acknowledgement of the packets. Think about UDP protocol when you are watching a video. The YouTube server will be sending the packets to your computer constantly, and that's how you have a streaming. However, your computer won't be acknowledging those packets. However, your computer will not be acknowledging those packets. It will just show the video to you. Therefore, UDP protocol is faster because it doesn't acknowledge the packets, but it is less reliable. Most cases, you're going to be dealing with a TCP protocol, so when in doubt, think TCP. Security groups control ports. You have a single port or a range of ports, and the standard ports are 21 for FTP, File Transfer Protocol, 22, this is SSH, Secure Shell, and also Secure File Transfer Protocol, 80 is used for HTTP, and 443 is used for secure HTTP, basically the web traffic. 3389 is RDP for Windows. It's a remote desktop protocol. And then I also use frequently 3306. This is port for MySQL, 5432 for PostgreSQL, and 6379 for Redis. AWS provides you shortcuts, so you can simply select HTTP, and this will mean there is TCP protocol on port 80. Let's talk about security group sources. It allows blocks of IP addresses, also known as CIDRs. And in this case, you have a block of IP addresses that have about 64,000 of IPs, and it has /16. Next one is /0, and you have all zeros. This means those are all IP addresses, so essentially all web traffic. And then this one, when you have a /32 and the IP address, that means a single IP address. Don't worry if you don't understand CIDRs. All you have to know is how you define all IPs and a single IP. Another source of security group can be prefix lists, and all they are just a set of blocks of IP addresses, so it's more of a convenience feature. Security group can also allow other security groups. For example, it can allow access from one resource to another, and it also can allow source to be the group itself. So it allows access from itself into itself. Let's take a look at the examples. For example, we have a load balancer that has a security group that allows web traffic. And then we have EC2 instances, this load balancer balances, and those instances have another security group that allows access from the security group of the load balancer. In such a way, you are allowing access to EC2 instance from the load balancer. In the next example, we have a security group that allows DB traffic or database traffic, and this security group can be attached to RDS proxy and also to the RDS itself, or database proxy and database itself. And if the security group allows traffic into itself, you can allow traffic from RDS proxy into the database. Let's talk about security groups key facts. Security groups are outside of the instances. EC2 won't see traffic if it is blocked by a security group. And also, if you have an EC2 timeout, most likely it's a security group issue. Security groups are stateful, meaning if you allow an incoming request from an IP, the response is automatically allowed regardless of the outbound rule. Security groups can be attached to multiple instances, and also one instance can have many security groups. And now let's jump into the demo. If you are ready to dive into the world of cloud computing, check out this comprehensive course on Coursera AWS Fundamentals Specialization. This certification course covers everything you need to know about Amazon Web Services, from the basics to advanced concepts, making it perfect for both beginners and those looking to enhance their cloud skills. Please check the link in the description. It is an affiliate link, and I might get a small commission if you use the link. If you do use the link, thank you very much. It helps me to continue making more videos. We are in AWS console. Let's go ahead and practice creating and configuring security groups. We will just type right here in the search, security groups. And as you can see, there is one security group, and this is a default security group. It is created by AWS. If we select it, we can see the details of this security group here on the bottom. If we click on the inbound rules, we can see this security group allows all traffic on all ports and all protocols, and it allows traffic from this security group. So it allows traffic from itself into itself. If we click on the outbound rules, we can see that it allows traffic to anywhere on all ports. Let's go ahead and create our own security group. We click on the create security group, and we can type in web access demo. So we're going to be allowing web traffic into our instance when we attach this security group, and we're going to click add inbound rules. And right here you can see that we have type TCP, and if you click, you can see other types like UDP, and also you're going to have the shortcuts, right, that we're talking about. So if we click on one of these shortcuts, it's going to select the ports and the protocol for you automatically. We are interested in HTTP for now, and maybe later on we will add HTTPS, but let's add HTTP. We select that, and as you can see, our port range got pre-selected, and it's 80, and our protocol is TCP. Now we can select the source. As you can see, you can click here, you can do anywhere IPv4, anywhere IPv6, and you can also select your own IP. AWS will detect it and it will fill it out in here. Also, if you click on the search right here in this field, right, you can see that you can select CIDR blocks or blocks of IP addresses. Those are V4 and these guys are V6. Then you can also select security group. It's another source. And also you have prefix lists, which are groups of blocks of IP addresses. So let's go ahead and select anywhere IPv6. And in here you can also put a description, but we will just leave it for now. Now let's go ahead and create another rule. Again, we will select HTTP. And here we also select anywhere IPv6, right? IPv6 getting more popular, so let's allow access on port 80 into our security group and essentially the EC2 instance from IPv4 and IPv6. Now, if we go down to outbound rules, you can see that by default, it's going to allow all traffic to all IP addresses, right? So here also at the end, you can put tags if you like, but we're not going to put the tags. We're just going to hit create security group. This gave us an error because description is mandatory right here. So we can put description allow web traffic. Let's go ahead and click create security group again. And our security group is created. Let's go back to security group and create another security group. It is the best practice to create a separate group for SSH or secure shell access. Let's go ahead and create that security group. We're going to call it SSH access demo. And we're going to put a description, allows SSH access. Also, you can obviously select VPC. Security groups are bound to VPC and your region, but here we only have one default VPC, so it's selected for us by default. And right here in the inbound rules, let's go ahead and create a rule, and we're going to say SSH. We're going to select SSH. And it filled out, again, protocol TCP, and port will be 22. And in the source, we can also put anywhere IPv4. Let's go ahead and scroll all the way down and click create security group. And this security group is also created. Now let's go ahead and go to our EC2 instance I have an EC2 instance already created and running. So we can take a look at this EC2 instance. If we select the EC2 instance and go to security right here on the bottom, we can see that this instance have security group that is called default attached to it. But security group default allows traffic from itself into itself. This instance has Nginx web server installed, so we can access it on port 80. So if we go to details, let's go ahead and copy public IPv4 DNS. And then we can put it in right here. And as you can see, this will be spinning for a while and it won't be able to access EC2 instance because we don't have security group attached to EC2 instance that will allow traffic on HTTP. As you can see, the connection timed out. Let's go back to AWS console and we can click on actions right here and security. And we'll click change security groups. So let's go ahead and attach our security groups that we created to this EC2 instance. We're going to select web access, and then we're going to go ahead and also select SSH demo. Let's go ahead and click save. Now we should be able to access our Nginx server on port 80. Let's go ahead and refresh again. And as you can see, we have a message, welcome to Nginx. HTTP access is working. Now let's go ahead and check SSH access. In order to SSH in our instance, we will need a public IP address. That's what we have here, a user and the SSH key. So let's go ahead and switch to the CLI. It will use command SSH. The user for Amazon Linux instance that is running is EC2-user, and the IP address is right over here. This is the public IP address of our instance, and I already downloaded the key when I created this instance, so it's in my .ssh folder, and it's called tutorials demo pam. Right, let's go ahead and hit enter, and we successfully SSH'd into our instance. Now we can check if our Nginx is running. We'll do sudo systemctl status Nginx. And indeed, our Nginx is running. So we can exit out of the instance. We can just type exit. Now let's go ahead and check if our security groups are indeed stateful. We're going to switch to AWS console. We're going to go back to security groups, and you can select it on the left-hand side. Let's go ahead and select web access demo security group. It has already outbound rule selected for us. Let's just go ahead and click edit outbound rules, and we can just delete this outbound rule. Let's go ahead and save it. We're also going to go into the EC2 instance. Let's go ahead and select the instance, go to the actions, security groups. We'll change security groups, and right here we're just going to go ahead and remove SSH access demo, and we will remove the default security group. We're going to be left with a web access demo, and we know that it allows access on the port 80. However, it doesn't allow outbound traffic. But since security group is stateful, it means that we should still get a response from the server or EC2 instance, although security group does not allow outbound traffic. Let's go ahead and switch to our web tab here, and let's go ahead and hit refresh. And as you can see, we're still getting response from this EC2 instance, although outbound rules are disabled. Security groups are indeed stateful. That's it for today's tutorial on AWS Security Groups. By now, you should have a good understanding of how to create, configure, and manage security groups in AWS. Remember to always follow best practices to keep your environment secure. When we connected to our instance using Secure Shell SSH, we needed an SSH key. However, there is a simpler method to connect to EC2 instances without having to store and manage SSH keys. It's called EC2 Instance Connect. Watch this video to learn how.